Look, I have huge confidence in the American people. And the beauty...
Glad you do, because I'm losing confidence day by day.
I'm losing confidence in some of your leaders.
Me too.
But the people are always wiser than the experts. It's true in your country, it's true in my country. And there's a great autocorrect mechanism built into the Constitution where the population can impose itself on the government when the government is getting too big.
You know what makes me worry that that is not true? I think after a period of time when you condition people, mentally they are prepared to look to the government for answers. When you stop teaching them the concepts of individual liberty, constitutional government, they think things are in the Constitution that don't exist there.
No, that's absolutely right. And that's especially true in a country that defines itself by its ideas, not by its territory or by its ancestry, but by its creed. You can become an American wherever your parents came from, provided you sign up to the ideals. So the flip side of that is if you lose the ideals, you lose your identity as a country much more thoroughly than a place which is defined by space or race. You need to teach kids that they are heirs to a sublime inheritance that they have to keep fast and pass on in their turn.
I agree with all that, but Europe, Great Britain has a government rationing body with their National Health Service. You look at Greece, which is bankrupt, Spain, Portugal, Ireland, all these countries that are now literally suffocating because of the growth of government and the indebtedness. It seems like America is moving in that direction more every day.
Well, on one measure, obviously it is, which is the level of state spending. You know, it was funny. Do you remember right at the beginning of his presidency when Barack Obama was asked if he believed in American exceptionalism? And he said, yeah, I believe in American exceptionalism, just like the Greeks believe in Greek exceptionalism. And at the time I was thinking, yeah, well, that's just Greece. He could have mentioned any country. The more I see the US debt grow, the more I think, hey, it's kind of suspicious that he picked Greece there, isn't it? I mean, this is a Hellenification, or whatever the word is, of the US fiscal outlook. And if enough people become dependent on the state, whether as employees or as welfare beneficiaries, sure, people eventually start behaving and voting like Greeks.
When I first read the title of your book, Inventing Freedom, How the English-Speaking Peoples Made the Modern World, I know, if it hasn't happened yet, it will, that people will criticize it without having even read the book.
Sure. Sure,
you expect that. Standard operating procedure,
that, right? It is. I'm sure that the moment it goes on sale, you know, there will be 10 reviews on Amazon saying this is outrageous racist and all the rest of it, you know, before they can have possibly read it. Right. The beauty of Anglosphere principles is that they take root anywhere, because it is what the Indian writer Madhav Das Nalapat calls the blood of the mind, not the blood of the body. Anglosphere principles are why Hong Kong is not China, why Singapore is not Indonesia, why Bermuda is not Haiti. If you have the rule of law and personal freedom and individual liberty, it can take root in any society.
Is it possible, if you say it can take root in any society, I believe that through the prism of history, and I hope I'm wrong, I pray I'm wrong, that we're going to look back as this era as the rise of the radical Islamist. And America even gave F-16s and tanks and billions of dollars to the leader of Egypt, who was a member and former head of the Muslim Brotherhood. It seems like we don't get it.
Well, I think the most important geopolitical question of this century is whether India defines itself primarily as an Anglosphere democracy or as an Asian superpower. And India, by the way, has, you know, one of, if not the largest Muslim populations in the world, but without the associated problems of
radicalism.
Right. And that's because it's a common law democracy. And although it's like your country and mine, it has its imperfections. Of course it does, because, you know, perfection is not for this life. But it is a place where governments change peacefully, the army doesn't interfere in politics, and above all, there is a common law system where the individual...
And you think this could be adopted and advanced even in areas where today, if we were to predict democratization in certain parts of the world, you think it can happen anywhere?
Yes, but here's the tragedy, right? In the places where it was first developed, in the core Anglosphere territories, your country and mine,
we're giving it up.
The system is being betrayed by its own children.
Scary, isn't it?
Isn't it?
All right, well, I love the book, love your writing. It is a great admonition. You're an American hero.
Well, listen, your current president has a great way with words. We've got to give him that. So let me paraphrase him. If you want to keep your way of life, you can keep your way of life. If you want to keep your Constitution, you can keep your Constitution, period. No one can take it away from you.
Wow, well said. Danniel Hannan, good to see you again. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Coming up next, left-wing lunatic Alec Baldwin again flies off the handle. This time, well, it's costing him a gig. We'll explain that coming up later. And then this.
And Paxil's second-term strength treats a whole range of symptoms, like Benghazi, the NSA scandal, the IRS scandal, the AP scandal, the Petraeus scandal, that time Jay-Z and Beyonce went to Cuba, and of course, Obamacare website problems.
All right, Saturday Night Live, they nailed it, and it's tonight's video of the day. You don't want to miss it, and we're going to play it for you, and what they think will cure the president's, well, second-term blues at the end of the show. Well, this could be the skit of the year. That's straight ahead.
The rhythm of life. Where do you hear that beat? Campbell's Healthy Request Soup lets you hear it in your heart. Heart healthy, great taste. Sounds good. Campbell's Healthy Request. Good.